We are back with more What's Now. Small business owners and entrepreneurs face very unique challenges, and I spoke with Ramon Vasquez. He gave us some tips and ideas to help all of these individuals.
According to government data, about 20% of small businesses fail within their first year, and roughly 50% fail by their fifth year. A common reason is that entrepreneurs get stuck working in their business, not on their business. In fact, a new survey commissioned by Advisors revealed that nearly a third of small business owners said bookkeeping and payroll issues have hindered their business's growth. Advisors Ramon Vasquez joins us to share tips to reduce some of the stress and confusion associated with running your business. Ramon, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
What are some of the most confusing aspects to running your own business?
Well, of the small business owners and aspiring entrepreneurs that were surveyed, the two most common confusing items that they felt like they ran into had directly to do with taxes. Number one being just filing the business tax return itself, and that was followed up by trying to figure out what business expenses they could take as write-offs. You also had things like bookkeeping and then compliance reporting, which came in third and fourth.
And do you have any tips on exactly what small business owners can write off?
Yeah, so they can write off. They can deduct just about anything that's ordinary and necessary when it comes to running their business. Some of these things can include advertising, supplies, insurance, as well as business-related travel expenses. But just because you have those expenses doesn't necessarily mean you get to deduct them. You have to make sure that you have a record of those expenses. Now, luckily with technology, it's made things easier. So between like spreadsheets, bank statements, printed receipts, or if you're like me, you just use an app, the important thing is to remember that it's easier to record the expenses as they occur versus trying to do an entire year's worth of record keeping after the fact.
So how are ways that aspiring entrepreneurs and small business owners can navigate some of these daunting aspects of business ownership?
Well, they can partner up with someone that's local in their community, who has the expertise and the knowledge of how to navigate the business tax code, and who's available to evolve with their business as it grows. Luckily, Advisors, we have a lot of high-level, high-expertise individuals that work with us, who we stay up to date on the tax code changes. We have that ability so where we can help anticipate some of the needs of the business, and we have wonderful products like our 365 tax plan, which allows us to help business owners uncover potential tax benefits that otherwise might get left behind. And most importantly, when you come into an office, you're able to sit down with someone and see an upfront price sheet of what things might cost given what the business owner's needs are.
And any other tips that you have for small business owners so that they can succeed?
It's really just going to come down to identifying what it's costing them in time in terms of how much they spend on like bookkeeping and payroll and things like that. Finding out how much they value that time, and then sit down with someone to determine whether it makes more sense for them to do it on their own or to just have a professional handle it for them.
Perfect. Where can we find out more information?
You can go to blockadvisors.com, or you can visit a local office at any time.
Will do. Well, thanks so much, Ramon, for giving us these great tips for entrepreneurs and small business owners today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.